The sound in the dark, the wind moved gently through the tall grass, carrying the smell of rain. The small human colony on the edge of the forest was quiet. People had gone inside early because the sun had set, and the wild creatures of this planet came out after dark. Mara walked alone on the narrow dirt path, holding a small basket. She had stayed late in the nearby village to help an old woman fix her roof before the storm came. Now the sky was dark purple, and the forest ahead looked like a wall of black shadows. She pulled her cloak tighter around her shoulders and quickened her steps. Then she heard it, a soft, broken sound. A whimper. It wasn't the cry of a dog or the call of a bird. It was different, wet, shaky, almost like a small child trying not to cry. Mara stopped, her heart beating faster. She turned her head slowly, trying to find the source. The sound came again, from deeper inside the trees. She looked around. No one else was on the road. The safe thing to do would be to walk straight home, lock her door, and pretend she had heard nothing. That was what everyone in the colony would do. Out here, strange sounds often meant dangerous things. But Mara? She had always been different. She had always wanted to know why. She took a deep breath and stepped off the path into the forest. The trees were tall and twisted, their branches making strange shapes in the dark. The air was damp, and the smell of moss and wet earth filled her nose. She moved slowly, her boots pressing into the soft ground, her ears listening for the sound again. There, closer now. It was a soft, pained whimper, followed by a faint, scratching sound. Mara followed it, weaving between the trees until she came to a fallen log. Beyond it, in the shadows, she saw something small, curled up on the ground. At first, she thought it was an animal, a wounded one. But as her eyes adjusted, she realized it wasn't like anything she had seen before. Its body was small, maybe the size of a child, but its skin had a faint glow, like light shining under the surface. Strange patterns moved slowly along its arms and back, like living tattoos. Its head was too large for its thin neck, and its eyes. Its eyes were huge and shining, catching what little light there was. It was shaking. One arm bent at a strange angle, dark liquid dripping onto the ground. And those eyes were filled with fear. Mara froze. Every story she had heard about the alien threat came back to her. The colony leaders had warned people, if you see one, run. Tell the patrol. They are dangerous. They are not like us, but this little creature didn't look dangerous. It looked hurt. She stepped forward slowly. Hey, she whispered, her voice soft. It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you. The alien's head lifted slightly, its glowing eyes locking onto hers. Its breathing was fast and shallow. For a moment, it looked like it might try to crawl away, but it didn't move. Mara crouched down, keeping her hands where it could see them. You're hurt, she said gently. I can help. The alien blinked slowly. It was as if it understood her tone, if not her words. Her hand moved toward it, slow, careful. She could hear her own heartbeat in her ears. Every part of her said she was making a mistake, that she was breaking the rules, but her heart told her she couldn't just leave it here to die. When her hand touched its skin, she almost pulled back. It was warm now, hot, and the faint glow under its skin pulsed like a heartbeat. The creature tensed, but didn't pull away. Its eyes searched her face, as if trying to understand why she was here. She pulled a small cloth from her basket and pressed it gently against the wound on its arm. The alien let out a small sound, almost like a sigh of relief. Then it happened. Its mouth opened slightly, and a strange sound came out, soft, musical, and broken. It wasn't human language, but there was something in the tone. Something that felt like thank you. Mara's chest tightened. You're welcome, she whispered without thinking. The alien blinked again. Its trembling slowed just a little. She knew she couldn't stay here. The forest at night was dangerous, and if patrols found her with this creature, she would be in serious trouble. But leaving it here was not an option. She slid her arms under it carefully. It was lighter than she expected, but she could feel it wince with pain. She held it close, tucking her cloak around it to hide the glow. "It's okay. I'll get you somewhere safe," she promised. The alien's head rested against her shoulder. Its breathing was still fast, but it made no attempt to fight her. Maybe it was too weak. Maybe it was choosing to trust her as she stepped back onto the dirt path. The rain finally began to fall soft at first, then harder, drumming against the leaves. Mara quickened her pace toward home, holding the alien close. But halfway there, she froze. Up ahead, on the road, a figure was walking toward her, carrying a lantern. The light swung back and forth, and she recognized the tall shape. It was her neighbor, Mr. Harlan. He called out, "Mara, get inside. There's something dangerous in the area. Patrol's looking for it." Mara's heart pounded. She glanced down at the creature hidden in her arms, then back at the man walking toward her. If he saw it, everything would change. A dangerous kindness. Mara's fingers tightened around the small alien hidden under her cloak. Her neighbor, Mr. Harlan, was only a few steps away now, his lantern swinging in the rain. His eyes scanned the road nervously. "Mara," he said in a low voice, "you shouldn't be out here. There's something strange roaming around. Patrol says it's dangerous." Mara forced a smile, trying to keep her voice calm. "I was just coming home from the village." "Didn't hear anything." Harlan's eyes narrowed. "You didn't hear the patrol sirens? They're looking for an alien scout. Injured, maybe? Could be close to here." A shiver went down Mara's spine. She adjusted her cloak so the bundle in her arms was hidden completely. The alien under it stayed very still, as if it knew this moment was dangerous. "I should go," she said quickly, stepping past him. "The rain's getting worse." Harlan nodded, but didn't move. "Keep your doors locked tonight, Mara. If you see anything unusual, call the patrol. They'll reward anyone who helps." His gaze lingered on her for a moment, as if trying to read her. Then he stepped aside. Mara walked away without looking back, her heart racing. The alien's faint warmth against her chest reminded her what was at stake. If the patrol found it, they wouldn't care that it was hurt. They would kill it, or take it away for experiments. By the time she reached her small wooden home at the edge of the colony, the rain had soaked her cloak. She shut the door behind her, bolting it, then lit a small lamp. She laid the alien gently on her bed. Under the lamp's glow, she could see the details of its injuries. Its arm was twisted at the elbow, its skin torn with deep gashes. The faint glow in its patterns was dimmer now, pulsing weakly. "You poor thing," she murmured. The alien's huge eyes followed her every move. It didn't speak, but its gaze was full of something she could almost understand: hope. Mara went to her shelf and found her small medical box. She cleaned the wounds carefully, dipping a cloth in warm water and wiping away the dark liquid. The alien flinched but didn't pull away. When she wrapped its arm with a strip of soft cloth, it let out a sound, half whimper, half sigh. "It's all right," she whispered. "You're safe here." She noticed something strange. The patterns on its skin moved in rhythm with its breathing. Sometimes they formed shapes she couldn't understand, almost like writing. When she touched its arm gently, the shapes shifted into something new, two lines that glowed brighter for a moment before fading again. Was it trying to talk to her with its skin? The alien's stomach made a low, hollow sound. Hunger. Mara walked to her small kitchen and poured water into a wooden cup. She also broke off a piece of soft bread. She returned and held the cup to its lips. The alien hesitated, then took a small sip. Its eyes closed briefly, as if the water was the best thing it had ever tasted. It took the bread, too, chewing slowly. When it finished, it made another soft sound, different from before. The tone felt lighter, almost like a thank you. "You're welcome," Mara said again, smiling without realizing it. For the first time, the alien tried to sit up. Its movements were clumsy, its injured arm shaking. She helped it, putting a pillow behind its back. It studied her face closely, its gaze deep and searching. Suddenly, there was a noise outside, a sharp knock on her door. Mara's blood turned cold. She quickly pulled the blanket over the alien, hiding its glow, and blew out the lamp so the room was darker. "Who's there?" she called, trying to sound calm. "It's Patrol Unit 3, a deep voice answered. "We're checking all homes." "Open the door, please." Her heart pounded. She glanced at the alien. It was frozen, wide-eyed, its breathing fast. "I'm just getting decent," she called, buying time. She moved quickly, dragging a chair to block the door from opening. Too far. Then she cracked it open. Outside, 2 armed patrol soldiers stood in the rain, their flashlights cutting through the darkness. "Evening, ma'am," one said. "We're looking for a dangerous alien, possibly injured." "Have you seen anything unusual tonight?" Mara shook her head. "No, I've been inside. Just got home from helping a neighbor." The second soldier's eyes scanned the room behind her. "Mind if we take a quick look?" Her pulse quickened. "Is that really necessary? It's late, and I'm alone." They exchanged a look. The first one sighed. "All right, ma'am. Stay indoors. If you see it, call us immediately." She nodded and shut the door, locking it again. She waited until their footsteps faded before turning back to the bed. The alien was still under the blanket, trembling. She gently uncovered it. Its glow was faint again, and its breathing shallow. "They're gone," she whispered. "You're safe. For now." The alien's gaze softened. Slowly, it raised its uninjured hand and touched her chest, right over her heart. The gesture was small, but it sent a strange warmth through her. Mara didn't know why, but in that moment, she made a silent promise. She wouldn't let them take it, no matter the risk. Outside, the rain kept falling. But inside, something had begun, something fragile, something dangerous, and something neither of them understood yet. The heartbeat of trust. The rain outside had become steady, tapping against the roof like a soft drum. Mara sat beside the bed, watching the alien breathe. The glow under its skin flickered faintly, like a dying lantern. She wondered if it was getting worse. She didn't even know what kind of medicine it needed. Her human supplies were limited and probably useless for an alien body. The alien's eyes were closed, but its face twitched slightly, as if it were dreaming. Mara reached out and brushed away a strand of damp hair from its forehead. Its skin was warmer now, almost fever-hot. Suddenly, the alien's eyes snapped open. They locked onto hers instantly, bright even in the dim room. Its lips moved, struggling to form sounds. At first, it was just a jumble of soft alien syllables, musical but strange. Then, in a rough, broken voice, it spoke a single human word. "Stay." Mara's breath caught. She stared at it, certain she had misheard. "What did you say?" she asked softly. The alien swallowed hard and repeated, "Stay, please." Her chest tightened. How did it know that word? Did it hear her say it earlier? Or had it learned it just to tell her this? "I'm here," she said, taking its hand gently. "Hey, I'm not leaving you." The alien's small, clawed fingers curled weakly around hers. She could feel its heartbeat, fast, unsteady, but strong enough to push against her skin. Something about that rhythm felt familiar. It was almost the same as a human heartbeat. A faint smile touched its lips, though it looked exhausted. "Safe. Here," it whispered. The words awkward but understandable. Mara couldn't explain why, but she felt a strange pride. In just a few hours, this alien had gone from terrified to trusting her enough to speak her language. But the moment was broken by a distant sound, sharp and metallic. A patrol siren, followed by the hum of engines. Mara moved to the window and peeked outside. A patrol vehicle was slowly moving through the road, its spotlight sweeping across houses. Soldiers inside were scanning the shadows. "They're still looking for you," she murmured. When she turned back, she saw the alien trying to push itself upright. It winced in pain, holding its injured arm close to its chest. "Hey, no," she said quickly, rushing over. "You need to rest." But it shook its head and pointed toward the wall. No, not the wall, through the wall. The direction was toward the forest. Then it pointed to itself, then to her. "You want to go outside now?" she asked. It nodded, weakly urgency in its glowing eyes. "That's crazy," Mara said, her voice low. "The patrols will catch you." The alien made a low sound that was almost like a growl. It tapped its chest twice, then pressed its hand against hers again. The patterns on its skin began to move faster, forming shapes that glowed brighter. Mara didn't understand the symbols, but she could feel the meaning: fear, danger, and something about the forest. Whatever it was important enough for it to risk leaving. Mara sighed. "All right, but if we do this, we have to be careful." She helped it sit up and wrapped the blanket around its shoulders to hide the glow. Then she pulled her cloak over both of them. Outside, the rain was still heavy enough to blur their shapes in the darkness. They slipped out the back door into the wet night. The ground was soft under their boots, and the cool air smelled of pine and rain-soaked soil. Every few steps, Mara looked over her shoulder, making sure no one had seen them. The alien moved slowly, leaning on her for support, but its eyes stayed fixed on the forest ahead. Despite the pain in its body, it kept urging her forward with gentle tugs. When they reached the edge of the trees, Mara paused. The forest at night was another world, shadows twisting, branches whispering in the wind. But the alien didn't hesitate. It stepped inside, pulling her along. They walked for what felt like 10 minutes before the alien stopped suddenly. Its gaze went upward, toward a cluster of tall trees. It let out a soft sound, almost mournful. Mara followed its eyes and froze. High above, tangled in the branches, was a small object glowing faintly in the dark. It was shaped like a smooth oval, about the size of a backpack. Strange symbols pulsed across its surface. "Is that yours?" she whispered. The alien nodded once, eyes shining with emotion. It reached up with its uninjured hand, but the object was far too high. Mara looked around and spotted a low branch. "Hold on," she said. She climbed carefully, gripping the wet bark, until she reached the strange object. The moment her fingers touched it, warmth spread through her hand, just like the alien's skin. She climbed back down and handed it over. The alien held it close, and for a moment, its glow brightened. The patterns on its skin moving faster. Whatever this thing was, it mattered to it deeply. But before Mara could ask questions, a sharp voice cut through the rain. There, in the forest, two figures. A beam of light hit them, blinding her. Shouts followed, and the hum of patrol vehicles grew louder. The alien's grip on her hand tightened. "Run," it said. And they did. Hunted. The beam of light cut through the trees like a sword, blinding Mara for a second. She threw her arm over her eyes, gripping the alien's hand tighter. "Don't stop," she whispered urgently. The alien didn't need convincing. Even with its injured arm, it moved as fast as it could, pulling her deeper into the dark forest. The rain fell harder now, masking some of their sounds, but the patrol shouts were getting closer. There, in the trees, a soldier's voice called. The crunch of boots on wet leaves followed. Mara's heart pounded. Every step felt slower than the last. The alien's breathing was heavy, but it didn't let go of her. She glanced over her shoulder. 2 soldiers with flashlights were weaving through the trees. The lights bounced wildly, sometimes disappearing behind trunks, sometimes flashing right toward them. The alien tugged at her arm and pointed ahead. Between the trees, Mara saw a narrow path barely visible under the wet leaves. They darted into it, branches whipping at their faces. The path wound downward toward a small ravine. Water rushed through the bottom like a fast-moving stream. The alien stepped to the edge, then looked at her as if asking for trust. Without hesitation, it slid down the muddy slope. Landing near the stream with a splash, Mara followed, sliding and nearly falling. Mud covered her cloak, but she didn't care. They crouched low in the shallow water, letting the rain and darkness hide them. Above, the soldiers' voices echoed. "Check the stream." The alien leaned close to her ear, whispering in broken human words. "Move with water. Quiet." She nodded, understanding. They began walking slowly in the stream, letting the water cover their footprints and wash away any scent. The cold seeped into her boots, but she kept going. After a few minutes, the alien stopped suddenly and motioned for her to get down. They crouched behind a large rock as a patrol vehicle rolled along the ridge above them, its spotlight sweeping the ravine. The light passed over them once, twice, then moved away. The hum of the vehicle faded. Mara let out a shaky breath. That was too close. The alien's glow pulsed faintly, its patterns shifting quickly. It touched the oval object it had retrieved earlier, holding it close to its chest. Mara could feel its urgency. Without words, it wanted to protect this thing more than anything. "Why is it so important?" she asked softly, but it didn't answer. Instead, it tapped its chest twice, then the object, then pointed toward the deeper forest. "You're taking it home," she guessed. It nodded before she could say more. Another noise came from behind them, the soft squelch of boots in mud. Someone was following, not a group, just one person. Mara turned slowly. A single soldier was moving along the stream with a flashlight, scanning the ground. He was close to close. The alien stiffened, crouching lower. Mara grabbed a large branch from the ground, her heart racing. She didn't want to hurt anyone, but if this soldier saw them, it would be over. The soldier's lights swept across the stream and stopped. His head tilted as if he had seen something. Mara acted fast. She grabbed the alien's hand and darted into the trees, splashing through the water. The soldier shouted and gave chase. Branches tore at her arms as they ran. The alien stumbled once, but she caught it, pulling it forward. The soldier's boots thudded behind them, louder, closer. Suddenly, the alien yanked her toward a hollow log lying on its side. Without a word, it crawled inside, pulling her after it. The inside was cramped and smelled of damp wood, but it hid them completely. Mara held her breath, feeling the alien's rapid heartbeat against her side. Footsteps approached. The soldiers. Light shone briefly across the log, then moved on. Mara prayed he wouldn't think to check inside. Minutes passed. Rain drummed on the leaves above. Finally, the footsteps faded away. Mara slowly crawled out, helping the alien up. "We can't keep this up all night," she whispered. "We need somewhere safe." The alien's eyes scanned the darkness, then pointed toward a cluster of large rocks in the distance. They moved toward it, keeping low, until Mara saw a narrow opening between 2 boulders. Inside was a small, dry space, hidden and protected. They slipped in. The alien sank to the ground, exhausted. Its glow flickered weakly now, the patterns on its skin slowing. Mara knelt beside it. "You're burning." "Up," she murmured, touching its forehead. "You need rest." The alien's eyes closed, but it lifted its good hand and touched hers one more time. "Safe. With you?" it whispered. Mara felt a lump in her throat. She knew she couldn't. Leave it, not now, not ever. Outside, the distant sound of patrol sirens continued. The hunt wasn't over. But here, in this small shelter, for the moment, they were hidden. The choice Mara woke to the faint light of dawn slipping between the rocks. The rain had stopped, leaving the air cool and heavy with the smell of wet earth. For a moment, she thought, they had made it through the night safely. Then she saw the shadow. It moved across the narrow entrance of their rocky shelter, blocking the pale morning light. Not the bulky outline of a human soldier. This shape was taller, leaner, with sharp angles. Her pulse spiked. She reached for the branch she had used earlier as a weapon. The alien beside her stirred, its eyes blinking open. It followed her gaze toward the entrance and froze. Its skin's faint glow pulsed faster, the patterns shifting into jagged lines. It whispered one word in its own language, low and tense, "Another alien." The figure stepped closer, crouching to peer into the shelter. Now Mara could see it clearly. Its skin was the same faintly glowing kind, but the patterns were bolder, more active. It wore light armor made from some alien material, and a strange, curved blade hung at its side. The newcomer's eyes locked onto the injured alien. And for a moment, the tension between them was so strong Mara could feel it. Then the newcomer spoke rapidly in the alien language. The injured alien replied, its voice weak but firm. Mara couldn't understand the words, but she understood the tone. The larger alien was angry, demanding something. The injured one was refusing. Finally, the newcomer's gaze turned to her. Mara tightened her grip on the branch. She expected hostility, maybe even an attack, but instead, the alien tilted its head slightly, studying her with curiosity. It spoke one slow word in the human language. Human. Mara swallowed. Yes, and you are. No answer. Instead, the larger alien crouched inside the shelter and knelt beside the injured one. It placed a clawed hand on the smaller alien's shoulder, and the patterns on their skin shifted, almost like an exchange of energy. The injured alien's glow brightened slightly. Mara realized they weren't enemies. They were connected. The smaller alien glanced at her and tapped its chest twice, then gestured toward the newcomer. "Protector," it managed to say in rough human words. Protector. So this was the one who had been searching for it. Relief washed over Mara for a moment, but then she remembered the patrols. "You can't stay here," she said urgently. "The human soldiers are still hunting for you both. If they find you," the protector cut her off with a sharp motion, then spoke to the injured alien in their language again. This time, the smaller alien looked down, as if torn. Finally, it looked at Mara and said, "They want to take me home." Mara's chest tightened. Home. That should be good news. But it also meant they were leaving now. Before she could speak, the sound of engines echoed faintly through the forest. Patrol vehicles. Getting closer, the protector moved fast, helping the injured alien to its feet. Mara stood too, ready to follow, but the protector turned to her and shook its head slowly. "No," it said in broken human speech. "Danger. For you?" Mara stepped forward. "I'm already in danger. If the patrol finds me, I'll be blamed for helping." The injured alien met her eyes, its glowing patterns softening. It stepped toward her and placed the oval object, the one she had helped, recover into her hands. "Keep safe, it said. Mara stared at it. "No, I can't. This is important to you." The alien shook its head. "Important to us," it corrected. Before she could answer, voices shouted in the distance. The protector grabbed the injured alien's arm and guided it toward the back of the shelter, where a narrow passage led deeper into the forest. Mara's heart pounded. She could stay here, pretend she knew nothing, and maybe survive the patrols. Questioning, or she could follow them into the unknown, leaving her old life behind. The injured alien stopped in the passageway and looked back at her. Eyes wide, glow steady. It didn't speak, but the plea was clear-come. Mara tightened her grip on the glowing object. She thought of her empty house, the suspicious looks from her neighbors, the way the colony leaders only saw aliens as threats. Then she thought of the moment last night when the alien had said, "Safe with you." Her decision came in a heartbeat. She stepped forward. "I'm coming with you." The protector's eyes narrowed, as if weighing her worth in an instant. Then it gave a short nod. They moved quickly through the twisting passage, the forest swallowing them in shadows. Behind them, the patrol vehicle stopped at the rocky shelter. Human voices shouted. Mara didn't look back. The enemy's truth, the forest floor trembled beneath their feet. A deep, rolling boom echoed through the air, followed by a second explosion. The shockwave rattled the leaves, and a flock of dark-winged birds burst from the canopy above. Mara stumbled but kept running, clutching the glowing oval close to her chest. The injured alien, still leaning on its protector, looked back toward the sound with wide, glowing eyes. "That's your ship, isn't it?" Mara asked, breathless. The smaller alien nodded weakly. "Ship attacked." The protector barked. Something sharp in their own language. And Mara didn't need a translation to understand they were in trouble. They pushed forward through the thick undergrowth, every step taking them deeper into the forest's heart. The air was damp, heavy with the smell of moss and smoke. Somewhere above, faint trails of black haze drifted through the gaps in the trees. After several minutes, they reached a steep slope. The protector paused, scanning the area, then motioned for Mara to follow. They climbed carefully, the soft soil giving way under their boots. When they reached the top, Mara's breath caught. Through the trees, she could see at the alien ship it was larger than she had imagined. Shaped like a sleek crescent moon, silver and dark blue, with faint lights running along its sides. But it was damaged smoke poured from a section near the middle, and scorch marks blackened its hull. A small squad of human patrol soldiers was gathered nearby. Weapons raised. "They're trying to destroy it," Mara whispered. The injured alien's patterns flared bright and angry. It muttered something low, almost like a growl. The protector pulled them both back behind a tree. Then it looked at Mara and spoke in broken human words. "Humans think we attack first." "Wrong." Mara frowned. "Then why are they here? Why are they hunting you?" The protector's eyes narrowed, its voice slow and deliberate. "We come to find lost kin. Old war made fear. Leaders tell lies." Mara's stomach twisted. She thought about the Colony Council's warnings, the way every alien was described as a threat. Had it all been built on old grudges and fear? The injured alien touched her hand, its patterns shifting into softer curves. "You believe?" it asked. She hesitated only for a moment. "Yes, I believe you." The protector studied her for a second longer, then gave a sharp nod. It crouched and gestured toward the glowing oval in her hands. "That heart link," it said. "Heart link," she repeated. The injured alien's voice was soft, almost tender. "It is. Memory, voice, home." Mara's eyes widened. Then, if the patrol gets this, the protector cut her off with a quick slash of its hand. "We go. Now." They began moving in a wide circle, keeping low to avoid being seen. But the closer they got to the ship, the louder the human voices became. "Secure the perimeter," a soldier barked. "We'll plant the charges here." Mara's breath quickened. "They're going to blow it up," the protector whispered. Something to the injured alien, then turned to Mara. You take Heartlink. Hide. If we not return, you run. No, Mara said firmly. If you're going in, I'm going with you. The protectors stared at her, clearly not used to defiance from a human. But before it could argue, a sudden burst of gunfire crackled through the air. Contact. A soldier shouted. The protectors. Heads snapped toward the ship. More gunfire followed, along with the high-pitched whine of alien energy weapons. The injured alien tensed, clutching its wounded arm. They're already fighting, Mara said. We have to move now. Without waiting for permission, she ran after the protector as it darted through the trees. The injured alien followed. Its glow now faint, but steady. They emerged from the tree line into the chaos. Human soldiers were firing from behind makeshift cover, while several armored aliens defended the ship's ramp. Energy blasts lit up the smoke-filled clearing in flashes of blue and red. The protector shouted in its language, and the defending aliens turned, recognizing them instantly. One of them moved to help the injured alien inside, but the smaller alien shook its head and pointed to Mara. Help. Mara didn't have time to ask what they meant. The protector grabbed her arm and pulled her toward the ship's side hatch. A soldier spotted them. Hey, stop. Bullets tore into the dirt near Mara's feet. She ducked low, heart pounding, as the protector swung its blade in a swift arc, disarming the soldier before shoving him aside. Inside the ship, the air was cooler, humming with a strange energy. The walls pulsed faintly, almost alive. The injured alien guided Mara to a small console and pointed to a round opening. Place Heartlink, it said. She slid the glowing oval into place. At once, the ship's hum deepened and light spread across the walls like veins, filling with life. The injured alien sagged in relief, leaning against the console. Now, ship knows. We are home, it whispered. But before they could celebrate, a loud clang echoed through the corridor. Human boots on metal. They're boarding. Mara gasped. The protector's patterns flared bright, its blade ready. Stay behind, it ordered. Mara knew the fight wasn't over, not by a long shot. Hearts beyond species, the sound of heavy boots pounded through the metal corridors. Mara's heart raced as she pressed her back to the wall, the hum of the alien ship vibrating beneath her fingers. The injured alien leaned against the console, still weak, but standing. The protector stood in front of them both, blade ready, its glowing patterns flashing in sharp, battle-like shapes. The first human soldier rounded the corner. The protector moved like lightning. One sweep of its curved blade knocked the soldier's weapon away. Another push sent him sprawling. But more soldiers came, shouting orders and raising rifles. Mara, down. The injured alien called. She ducked just as a spray of bullets ricocheted off the walls. The protector charged forward, clashing with the soldiers in a blur of metal and movement. Mara's hands trembled, but her eyes fell on something at the side of the corridor panel with alien symbols glowing faintly. What is that? She asked quickly. The injured alien's gaze followed hers. Door 2 outside, escape path. She shook her head. No, if we open that, they'll follow us into the forest. The alien hesitated. Then, we fly. Her breath caught. You mean take off now? It nodded slowly. Heartlink. Gave ship life again. But need human hand. She didn't understand why, but there was no time to ask. More soldiers pushed into the corridor, forcing the protector back step by step. What do I do? She asked urgently. The injured alien gestured toward the console. Touch center. Think home. Yes, it said. Softly. Your home and mine. Together. She swallowed hard, stepped up to the console, and pressed her palm to its glowing center. Warmth surged through her arm, flooding her with strange, vivid images. Alien skies, Stars seen from space, the sound of laughter that wasn't human. For a heartbeat, she felt like she belonged to both worlds. The ship responded instantly. The floor rumbled, and outside, a deep hum grew louder. The protector roared in their language, pushing the last soldiers back toward the hatch as the ship's ramp began to close. One soldier managed to slip past and grab Mara's arm. She struggled, panic shooting through her, until the protector's blade flashed and the soldier fell back, disarmed but alive. The ramp sealed shut. A low voice echoed through the ship in alien speech, and the injured alien gave a small smile. Ship ready. The hum grew into a roar. Mara stumbled as the ship lifted off, the force pressing her down. Through a small viewing panel, she saw the trees fall away beneath them, the human patrol growing smaller and smaller. Her breath shook. She had never left the ground like this, never left the planet. The weight of what she was doing finally hit her. She wasn't going back. The protector stood tall, its glow steady now. It looked at her and spoke in slow human words. You ask life. For us, why? Mara hesitated, then looked at the injured alien whose gaze hadn't left her since. They'd met because someone has to see the truth. Someone has to believe. The injured alien's patterns softened into flowing lines, glowing gently. It stepped closer and placed a small, warm crystal in her hand, shaped like a heart. Part of me, it said. Now, part of you. She stared at it, feeling a strange heat spread from her palm to her chest. Don't know what. To say no need, the alien whispered. You already said, with actions. The protector spoke to the injured alien in their language, and Mara sensed the words were important. The injured alien nodded, then turned to her. We go far. No return. Soon. But you safe. With us. Her throat tightened. She thought about her empty home, her quiet life, the way the colony would twist the truth of this day. And then she thought about the moment in the forest when this alien hurt. Afraid had looked at her and decided to trust. She closed her fingers around the crystal. Then I'm coming wherever you go. The protector gave a rare, approving smile. Through the viewing panel, the clouds parted, and the black expanse of space stretched out before them. Stars shone like diamonds on dark velvet. Mara's breath caught at the sight. It was beautiful, endless, full of possibilities. The injured alien moved beside her, its glow steady now. Home, it said softly. She glanced at it, then out at the stars again. Yes, she replied. Home, the ship tilted, engines flaring, and in a burst of light, they vanished into the vast unknown. 3 lives from 2 worlds. Bound now by trust, courage, and something far stronger than fear.